Dallas and Ray. Hey, what's going on?
What's going on, champion? How are you feeling?
Good, man.
Okay, that was almost bad, but it wasn't. It was good. Sweet. So, Joel is out of town. We have a number of people who are out and traveling and stuff like that.
Yeah, I just came back late last night. I'm back in my apartment, but I was traveling like all this week basically. So
Nice.
yeah,
How was that?
good. I had a really good time with my family. This was like the first time where I didn't have like any fights with my family, which was a kind of a big win.
You say no fights?
No fights at all.
Dude, that's a big one.
That is big. Yeah, like this is the first time I think in years where I've had like smooth sailing without any like conflicts or without any really being like thrown off or I don't know, I did a very good job at like managing my state and stuff. So that was a big win. Um yeah, and then also just being able like I really internalized it this week as far as that whole thing about taking advice from people that you would trade places with.
Hmm.
Like there are a few times where over Christmas I had some people try to give me advice on things, and it was just like water on a duck's back, kind of. It's just like you can think that way. I appreciate that's your thought on it, but like I didn't let it penetrate my thinking at all, which is really cool.
Congratulations, man. That's huge.
So that
Did
was
you
big.
use did you use some of the practices we talked about for practice, like for protecting your energy?
Yeah, definitely. There was actually a few times where I slipped away and like I listened to like a good song or like something like that to really like get myself back in state kind of. Biggest thing is in like managing my states is like been huge.
Hmm. That's exactly what we talked about, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, congrats, man. Makes me happy. It's like
Thank you,
I
man.
love I love it when things are going well, and I love it when things are going well as a result of something we talked about even more.
Yeah.
So that just is awesome. Dude, I don't know where the gang is, but if they're missing out, that's on them. More special bonus time for you. If you want to, we can go in and jam.
Yeah, let's
Ready to
do it.
rock?
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Cool.
here. I booked off the time, so
Let's make it worthwhile. Um, so my intent for today, it's literally all about mindset. But because we have you here personally, we're going to dial in your mindset routine, and I will help you do some minor tweaks that as needed. Um, and yeah, so actually we need Matt. He's been tracking the accountability bit, um, which has been cool. I thought it was you at first, but like we didn't have names attached to the people filling out the form, the success tracker, so we
mhm.
didn't know who's submitting what. Somebody was like, "I just closed the deal while driving." Da, 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 da. I'm like, "Is that Dawson?" I wonder if Dawson made his first deal happen and didn't tell me. But I think
No.
it was. I think it wasn't you. But it's okay. But yeah. So anyway, Matt is supposed to do his success update today. I can go over it, but it won't be necessary because well, let's take a look at it real quick. So here's the thing. We're going to look at the success tracker. We're going to do a quick talk on trust and levels of consciousness for raising your vibration, connecting with your future self, and then just literally the mindset routine that I'm using.
Cool. Let's do it.
Yep. Here, let me see if I can share my screen. And also, too, bonus, if we have time, if you have any messenger conversations that you're currently having or looking to have and you're stuck on it, I can give you a messenger audit where we look at exactly where what can improve in that conversation, because that's a pivotal piece in creating appointments, right?
Yeah. So honestly, I'm just kind of getting back into it because I really haven't I've been traveling and stuff the last week, so I'm just getting back into my routines now. Um, Today And tomorrow I was really just going to set up and kind of give myself some contemplation time for the 2020 year. And like plan it out, you know, kind of do some contemplation stuff. Cause I feel like I have so much information and I just need to have some time and think about like how to apply it the right way. So, but I think maybe like next week or something, like this week, I'm going to get more into messenger conversations and stuff like that, getting back into that.
Sweet. One quick tip on that. What's really working well is just, hey, it's the end of the year. I was thinking of you. Do you still want some help? Right? Like now you have the perfect reason to follow up with people. Like, hey, I'm just closing out, 2019. Do you still have this goal? Do you still have this problem? Do you still want some help? It's super quick, super direct. And then they're either maybe or no, either way it's fine. So that's a big opportunity. And when we talk about mindset routines, one of the things you can include is like people make and lose a ton of money with follow-up. So you can say, I'm a master at following up and following through. So just making that part of your identity, helps with these things.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's cool. Like if you have a conversation that went dead or silent, you can just literally drop a question mark. This. And that's it. It bumps it up and they're like, oh shit, I didn't respond.
Yeah.
So Dakota Zone, those are some tips that will super simple, super easy to do. You can do like 5 of those in 5 minutes. And they just might book you an appointment. People are looking to wrap up their year. So they'll be grateful that you reach out to them if they were ever interested at all.
Okay.
So, yep. So that's that. Following up and following through. Well, let's talk about it. Dakota, are you on? You're muted, my friend.
Yeah, what's going on, guys? I'm on. I'm just getting undressed from, work and settling down.
Cool. Okay, cool. Well, then we're going to do some tweaking and adjustments with your mindset routine, and we can go back into Messenger as well, where we do some audits. Towards the end of the call, I'm going to take this next 15 minutes or less to go over the 3 levels of consciousness that will help you attract clients and have rock solid just mindset. What is your, let's get some engagement going. What is your number 1 challenge for you guys when it comes to mastering your own mindset?
I don't feel there's any, honestly. I feel like it's just now a matter of fact of raising my vibration to taking on beliefs that will attract clients into my life. I don't believe in any boundaries with my mindset.
Solid. So it's raising vibes and adopting beliefs that attract ideal clients.
Right, the right beliefs. Like I could take on any belief. Like I'm confident. It's just knowing the beliefs. But like hearing you talk and certain things you say, like I'm like, oh, okay, that's the better way to do it. So I just disregard. I replace it with my previous belief and just take that on and just consistently do that.
Yeah. I think okay. I don't want to get distracted. I was taking note. There's some high value beliefs that I've uncovered. We'll go deep on. Love that. How about you, Dawson? Any challenges or things that will make your mindset move faster, more efficient?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head. I don't know. I'm a little bit biased because this is like the mindset stuff is what I study all the time. Is what I study all the time. So I can pretty much come up with answers to any of the questions that I could ask right now.
Sweet. Solid. Do you have techniques, or are you intentionally raising your vibration?
Yeah.
Cool. What's working for you right now?
So one of the things that I really like is, do you follow like Dr. Joe Dispenza? Do you know who that is?
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
So he's really big in that space, and he has a few different meditations. And he has a meditation where it's basically like you zoom out. And that's what I've been doing every morning, which is really gives me a perspective. So it's like, I basically, I start with my like ultimate end goal of like what I want my life to be about, sitting on a deathbed kind of thing, like looking back, family, accomplishments, friends, all that kind of stuff. And I get like a very clear, and then I go, okay, 20 years out from now, what I want it to look like. And then 10 years out, 5 years out, 3 years out. And I just go down to the granular to like right now. And it's basically like compressing all of that kind of desire, all that kind of stuff into like what is going to move the needle forward right now. And doing that allows me to like always get in tune with that vision. Because I think a lot of times people get wrong with their mindset is like, they think of that grand vision for their life maybe once every few months, and then they don't constantly refresh it in their mind.
100%.
So that's sort of what I do for raising my consciousness on that. That's what it seems to help me.
Solid. As you think about your vision and bring it into the moment, do you use precise feelings as well?
Yeah. A big part of that is feeling emotion. I think it kind of goes into like law of attraction type stuff without getting too far off the point of mindset. But I think emotions are really what activates kind of the subconscious mind. And that's how like, the subconscious mind communicates. So being able to emote and have those feelings, I think is a huge part of it.
100%. Yeah, I don't think that sort of mindset and law of attraction are completely unrelated. I think it's all connected. Yeah. So that's why feelings are important from the nervous system standpoint, but also from an energetic standpoint. Sweet. You know what? I almost forgot. I actually set an intention to share a meditation with you, all of you guys. It's about connecting with who you are. So when you talked about zooming out, that reminded me of that. So let's start with that as a level set. So we're literally vibing at the same frequency all together, and then we'll go back into the content to finish it out strong. Is that cool?
Yeah, let's do it.
Dakota, are you in a place where you can join us for meditation?
Yeah, still selling in, but I can tune in while I do my thing. I'm here.
Yeah, so it's one thing to tune in while you do your thing, and it's another thing to do a meditation. It's not a multitasking type of meditation.
Yeah, I know. You guys want to hold off for like 60 seconds to, 2 minutes? All right, I'll just hurry up.
Yeah.
Tune out for a second.
Do your thing. Finish up. Dope. So I think what's going to move the needle for you guys, and I'm looking on the side of my notes so that you guys not confused about what the fuck I'm doing. So just a refresher reminder, there's the conscious mind, 3 levels of consciousness, right? Conscious mind, things that we think about all the time. I'm going to turn off any distractions that are happening. Please forgive me. Don't need this. Oh, shit. Sorry. A big win I got to share with you guys on my end that you all need to know. When you start reporting like consistent money income from Stripe, they now have this thing called capital, where they give you an advance, basically what's called working capital. So you pay them some money and they will give you a bunch of cash. So I just got $5,000 from Stripe that I can further invest in my business because I've been, making money consistently for some time. So that's exciting because that's going right back into the business, and a lot of that is you'll benefit from because I'm going to be investing in the Mastermind live event, have a epic Airbnb and everything rented out, so we can get together and have freaking juicy transformation. But yeah, so that's a win on my end, just for you guys to know. Cool. So back to the 3 levels of consciousness. You've got the conscious mind, which is what you think about most of the time, where you set your intentions, goal setting, things like that. Unconscious mind, 95% of who you are lives there. and your conscious mind feeds directly into your unconscious mind, and then the higher consciousness, which is greater consciousness, where we're all connected. The meditation we're about to do is going to go into really connecting with higher consciousness and like just being freaking tuned in with that, because that level of intelligence, intuition, or whatever, it helps you make like the exact right choices at the exact right time that like make no sense, and you become lucky. So that's my jam. About that, 2 books that I recommend. How many of you know about Hal Elrod? My Pal Hal. Heard of him? Nope.
Yeah. I'm good.
Dawson, you know who that is?
What's the name?
So I'm gonna write it down so you can buy all of his stuff. Hal Elrod. It's a weird name. H-A-L. He wrote The Miracle Morning, which the Broke to CEO tracker is based on. So I'm gonna share his story, and then he also wrote The Miracle Equation. So don't read The Miracle Morning without also reading The Miracle Equation. The Miracle Morning is like a not literally top personal development book. It's basically helping you create a morning routine in the morning, right? That sets you up for an amazing day. You guys are already pretty dialed in on that. But basically what he found is like, so this guy, he was like 17 years old. He's driving on the highway in his Mustang and has a frontal collision with another car at 70 miles per hour, right? So this guy literally dies on the spot, and they, get him out of his car with the jaws of life and break him out of his car and like revive him. He was dead for 6 seconds. And he goes into the hospital for months. He had literally broken 80 bones in his body. And they thought he'd be a vegetable. They thought he'd never walk again, talk again, nothing. And so he did this miracle recovery and developed, studied all these successful CEOs, and wrote this book, The Miracle Morning. And so he developed his morning routine because he found that all of the most successful CEOs, they're all doing one of these 5 things, which is lifesavers, which is the savers model, which is silence, either meditation or prayer, or they do affirmations, or they do exercise, or they do reading, or they do journaling. And they all do these things, and they also get the most important thing done during the first hours of the day. And so he said that everybody does elements of this. He was like, what if we create a routine that involves all of them, right? So he creates this morning routine that includes all of the most successful practices. And I've practiced it myself, and it's really changed my life because it's got me from really a bad place to a really happy place. When your exercise helps with raising your vibration. And so one thing though, years later, he wrote a follow-up book, The Miracle Equation, because he said, I've misled all these people who are personal development junkies, because now they're reading all these books, but they're not getting the results that they want because they're not taking the right actions. And so what he found is one level higher than personal development is literally like that spiritual development where trust comes on and faith. So the miracle equation is this, and I recommend you buy these books, but what I'm telling you are the essence, the key nuggets from each of them. The miracle equation goes like this. It's extraordinary effort plus unwavering faith. That's it. It's like he distilled it down to those 2 principles. So unwavering faith, this is what I call trust with a capital T. That's being able to, I have countless stories of my personal life and lives of my friends and clients who practice unwavering faith. That means taking action when it makes no sense. Being in line with who you're becoming and like what you want your reality to be. And like you guys are doing this, right? Making investments and like trusting that it'll pay off in the future. Even your current reality is like, maybe no way, it makes no sense. But like, yep. Right? but trusting that your vision, your goals are happening and that you're not alone. Like that's why the 3 levels of consciousness in creating that. You're literally co-creating that experience with God, with universe, with whatever. So So like those two things are like way more important than like all the personal development stuff. So that's like a major key. And so what we're doing in the meditation and the personal routines, I want to make sure that you guys also include bits about trust and knowing and intuition, where you're like, it's not just like you by yourself doing this. Because like, yes, you can do it that way, but if you want to, like, you can't build like large organizations and like massive movements and like become a major change maker in the world sort of like by yourself, thinking you have to figure it out on your own. It's going to take other people, but it also takes faith. Like the most successful people, what do they always say? Like they thank God, right? They thank God for making this possible. They don't like, I did this by myself, it was all me. That like rarely happens. It's always like, thanks God. So this is where unwavering faith comes from. And have you guys heard me talk? Is this making sense, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was actually just talking about this in my yesterday's vlog about my personal decision and what we talked about personally on the phone, where it's like, okay, like, do I wait and break the momentum, or do I like invest and to keep the momentum when you're in like a fourth quarter decision type of making situation, right? So I was talking about that and just talking about like, we got to go into your future self and ask, just like Dustin was saying earlier, like, okay, what would they do? And come with that energy and make decisions like that. And just have faith that when you invest in yourself, whether it's time, energy, money, or anything, that you're going to get returns because you have faith. You have faith. Like, that's it. So.
Dude, yes. I think we're going to include a nugget about, because you guys are interested in like the belief systems of sort of increasingly the most successful people. We're going to do a nugget about money mindset and debt. Because if you completely rewire your brain about what it means to have that and like have and spend money now, and then you come in rock solid with a new set of beliefs around that, guess what? When you're on a call with that next person,
definitely
then there's not going to be any, right? Then there's not going to be any resistance. Like whatever their beliefs are that may be limiting, yours are like more expansive. You have more certainty in your belief that there is an abundance and it's okay. So I think that's going to make a big difference. Did I just see like a random voice, or is it just in my head?
That's my bad.
Oh, okay. I was like,
Sorry about that.
So,
going off of that, Miro, like I was watching this video the other day that talked about that, and he said like the only thing that makes, you know, a seller from a buyer is like the level of certainty. And the guy I was watching on, it was YouTube or something, and say it like that he was testing it out. He was going into like things he knew nothing about, and just to see like if he could sell. And like he didn't take the money from people, but like he just wanted to show that like with enough certainty, like people like adjust to that level of certainty.
Yeah.
And like it wins every time.
Kind of reminds me of like a 5-year-old kid. Like there's certain like this toy is already there. It's like they're gonna get it pretty much, and you can't really persuade them because it's like they made up their mind already without the intelligence of like being able to explain like why they should have this toy, and they're trying to convince you like, oh, they want this toy. But it's like you kind of adjust after a while when they like straight just give you that face for like 5 minutes, or you just get kind of give into them. Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, the sort of the sale, right, goes to the most certain person in the room.
Exactly.
And there's like a nuance, because there's like a school of thought, a philosophy that's kind of in the hard closer sort of mindset and framework. And like Dan Locke and like a lot of those people. And that's cool. But the thing is, if you're sort of convincing someone, you're still working with kind of, I'm going to say, low vibrational people who don't have the ability to make up their own minds. And it's actually not empowerment. So if you're in empowerment, so there's a different type of enrollment that I'm now learning and practicing that is in the empowerment space. And it's actually more of the trust and faith that the person on the other end, and like expecting that they're going to make solid decisions for themselves and that they know what's best for them, and empowering them in making that decision, and not like, you know what I mean? So so having the certainty. Okay, let's talk about certainty for a second. A lot of people will like this becoming certain in yourself. Like, I know for a fact I can do this and like I'm amazing. And then there is like a certainty in the business is actually not a good place to put your certainty in, because this is something that's in constant flux. It's like trying to throw an anchor on top of a surfboard and like hoping that it's just going to be like certain. You're right. But really you have to be riding the waves and be flexible. So what's a better place to put your certainty in?
Yourself.
Yes. And what else?
Your transformation that you could.
I think it's your ability to figure it out.
That's good. Those are all good answers. I thought I turned this off. Cool. And I'm gonna there's no right or wrong here, right? And what we're going to do in this meditation in just a minute, having a level of certainty in sort of your higher consciousness, that me, ego, small little me, right? I'm just like this one little thing here. That's my flesh experience during this time on this planet. That's one aspect of me. But there's another aspect of me that's literally expansive and eternal. And in the grand scheme of things, if this person on the other side of the call, if they say yes or no, if they get results or not, or like whatever, that it's all like happening for a reason and it's gonna be okay. Like having faith in that. Right? Because what that does is it's like letting go of the attachment of like, I have to be the best, I have to perform. There's actually a level of freedom in that. Do you guys get the difference? It's like, otherwise it's like little ego. It's just like, hey, look, I know like I can really help you and like I'm gonna make a sale, like this is happening today. It's a cool energy. I've done that. And then there's like I've sat down with a coach who has been doing this for a while, and she was telling me about her program. She was highly involved, highly engaged, telling me about all the features and like bells and whistles and how amazing it is and how powerful the group is and how good it feels and everything. And then when she was kind of like, we were in person, she's like sort of trying to close the deal. And I was like, I'm not sure. And she said, she said to me, with this level of certainty, she said to me, your soul will guide you. I'm like, wow, this woman is completely unattached to what I do about this. And so I was like, that's powerful. Your soul will guide you. And she believed that whatever I'm choosing is going to be perfect for me. I was like, that feels really fucking good. Can you imagine you showing up on a call like this versus, hey, you really need this, and when you hop on this call and you don't buy, like you're gonna die. Right? I've also talked to people who are like that. They're like, everybody who doesn't buy from me, that's their belief system. Like people from the older sort of generation that are successful entrepreneurs, but they're like, hey, people who don't buy from me, they typically have a worse life. Like they're gonna be bad. They're gonna ruin their lives. Which, hey, maybe not. Right? But what's more empowering to me, a more healthy belief is like, whatever happens, it's gonna be perfect. You don't wanna work with me? Good. You're gonna make space for the next person that's actually aligned. Okay, go ahead. There's a question. So
was there ever a time where you were doing the other method of kind of like the hard selling, egotistical selling?
For sure. Yep. So I've done both. I've been on both ends on those kinds of sales. Like literally in the beginning, I was using some open script, and I was like literally going in the office, slamming my script on the door, and going, "Let's fucking do this." Getting on a call and like hearing these people out, and, noticing how lost they are, and just like, "Yo, you're completely fucking lost. Like you have no idea what you're doing, right?" Like, yeah, I know. Like you're gonna be pretty much fucked without me, right? Like, yeah, I know. And then the thing is, then I enrolled them, but guess what? Their state of mind that they come into the program with is the state of mind that they're going to continue to have. So now we have a relationship where they're literally like hoping that I will give them the results.
Right.
And that's not what I do. I'm not a fucking mechanic. I'm not a done for you guy, right? Does this make sense?
Yeah, that's kind of like the victim mindset. Like,
exactly.
Oh, okay, got you.
So thank you for asking that. Because you don't, yeah, if you get people in with the victim mindset and they stay there and you don't like believe in them, like, hey, you're going to make a good decision for yourself and I trust you with that, then they're going to basically continue to display the same behavior, which is why I teach the matter model and those 5 major objections, because when you know what their mindset, their belief system is around that, then you know what they're going to be experiencing throughout your time working together. And this is how you can create some powerful relationships. Like I've had coaches like Grant, like when he's an amazing enrollment coach, and when he enrolled me into, or like, I guess, yeah, he helped enroll me into GGMB, and I wasn't quite ready, you know. I was like having a bunch of doubt if it was going to work for me and everything. And he said, you know what, maybe you're not. No, he was starting to enroll me into the 7-figure CEO program, and I wasn't like ready. I already had GGMB, and I was like, I don't know. And he's like, you know what? You're not ready for this. Like, read this book. You got to get clear on your mission first. Like, read this book. It was about finding your purpose or something like that. Like, read that. You know, that's what you need right now. I'm like, fuck. He's like pushing away the sale. Literally, like, I'm not going to tell you this right now. I'm not going to offer this to you right now. It wouldn't be right to offer this to you right now. So that's, if you're willing to do that and you're willing to decide for others, to give them the no before they can see it for themselves, because you have that perspective, they'll respect you so much more. And guess what? They're not static beings, right? People change and evolve. It might just not be the right time for them, but you could give them that nudge to make that decision to become ready. Otherwise, trying to make them into somebody that you want them to be. Is this making sense?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
cool.
I feel like that's above, like a step above the abundance mindset, pretty much. Because now it's like feeling out, kind of guiding the person and just in a deeper level to be able to have them be ready, even if not to work with you, like to work with somebody else. But like with an abundance mindset, it's like, okay, like there are plenty of clients, but with like the level you're talking about, it's like, yes, there are plenty of clients and prospects, and like I'm kind of nudging you in the right direction to find yourself. I feel like it's hard to explain, but it's like a step above abundance. I like it.
Yeah, so it's literally like giving them what they need. If that's pure service, and two, like I'm sharing this with you guys because I'm working with higher level coaches and attracting higher vibrational beings, raising my prices, right? So I'm putting a filter for people who are operating at a really high level. And so I've got to expect that from people to be leaders, you know? I've got to expect that of them. And if I'm holding them to not being smart enough and I have to, you know, give it to them, then I'm not serving them. But if I'm expecting them, like, here's my standard. Here's the thing, guys, all of you guys are doing high ticket offers, which means you're putting yourself in a position as not being the commodity, right? You're not going to win a client over based on price, right? That's not what you're doing. You're saying, like, my shit is so good, it's not for everyone. It's only for a few people, the people who can afford this kind of stuff, who are willing to get resourceful to make that happen. And because I have a high bar, I don't know that you're ready for my stuff. So you're really coming in from I'm qualifying you. And like, I know that if you're choosing this and you're the right fit, like, your dream life is totally available to you, but you have to step up to this level. And so what it's becoming, here's the analogy. It's like, literally, you guys have mastered your mindset. You can give people the ability to make up their own minds and create their own identity and their own reality. Like, that shit is invaluable. So literally their dreams can become true just by working with you. And you've got to accomplish the fuck ton more. We've talked about this on our last call. So if you're coming in from that frame, you're literally giving people an audition. Like, you're basically testing them out, feeling them out on if they're the right person to achieve their dream life with you. Like, you're giving them the opportunity of their lifetime. The only question is, are they ready for that? Is this making sense? Just like an audition in like Hollywood.
Yeah, I have a question on that.
I did that one time with a call, and I had like an interesting result, and it was basically that when I was saying that, I don't think this is a good fit. I work with a certain level of people who are, all in on this. Big transformations are what we do. They flipped and they started to qualify themselves to me. Which is pretty cool. Do you see that a lot, where once you say, oh, I don't, not necessarily prove to me, but I don't know if this is the right fit for you, then people kind of psychologically like flip and are like, no, this is for me. Like, here's the reasons why.
100%, 100% of the time, which is a way better position for you to be in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that happens. Like, so the question that helps with this, how serious are you about this? And then they're like, oh, pretty serious. Well, don't take that answer, right? Like, okay. So basically now you have an energetic feel for it. Like, how serious are you about changing all of this? They're like, pretty serious. I'm like, okay, I didn't feel that. Like, oh, dude, it's like dead or alive. Like, we're changing the shit to that. I'd rather die than have that shit happen to me. Like, so you're basically feeling them out. And then if you're not sure, you have them scale themselves. Like, on a scale from 1 to 10, like, how committed are you to changing it? And it's literally this. It's this move. Like, how committed are you to this? It's not like, how committed are you to this? It's, how committed are you to this? Right? So if I'm pulling back, energetically, the energy is moving forward on their end. And it's like, hey, it's totally cool if you're an 8 out of 10. That's cool. Thank you for your time. I can recommend you a book or like a free training. You can be a member of my Facebook group. You just like, not right now. It just like doesn't seem like you're the kind of person that should be working with me. Do you agree? Right? And then you just have an agreement. It's like, cool. And dude, honestly, you will feel so, when you celebrate your no's, like the people that are not yeses and buying your stuff, when you celebrate them as much as your yeses, you will become unfuckwittable.
I love that word.
Let's write that shit down.
I was just doing that. I was just doing that.
Yeah, because we're all like, you guys are with me. I'm raising my fucking standards for what I tolerate in my life, what I'm available for, and so every time I say no to somebody, or we agree on a no, we discover a no. It's like, yes, like, because guess what? It always gets better.
Congrats on raising your prices, dude. That's pretty. Because when you trying to do that for a while, did you like finally raise them? Or you?
Thanks for writing that down. Honestly, I hired a coach, and she just, I literally put in my form to like work with her that if you can help me raise my upper limit, this conversation will be really worth it. And she quoted me like 25 grand to work with her for 2 months. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, shit. Like, and this was verbatim, this was my reaction. It's like, whoa, shit, you're a badass, right? Like, that was my response. I was like, I had so much respect for that woman. And I was like, wow. And I also knew that as soon as I did it, I'll become the kind of person who makes those kinds of things happen. And I mean, now what I'm learning from her is like, what you guys are benefiting from it, just like high level of discernment, like what's right for me, what's not, what is my standards, what am I available for, what's not, and tons more. So yeah, I've been raising my prices. I mean, I had my $25,000 offer before. Now I've created a $65,000 one. And I'm not, I don't know that you know this, Dawson. I like this mastermind, the way I'm offering it with the one-on-one, it's no longer available the way it was before. I only offered two breakthrough calls with the 3 months mastermind program. And so I'm making my personal one-on-one time way less available and more valuable by making it less available. What I'm also realizing is just the power of the group on its own. It's like the power of this container is fucking, that's everything. So I'm really investing in that. So when I have more time back for myself, I can create quality content, which is digital content, which I can scale and give to more people and serve you guys better. And I can go on for a long time. Do I answer your question though about raising my prices?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool that you're hitting those levels.
I got a question.
Yes.
So About celebrating your nose, I think I'm gonna like take on that mindset, and because I feel like I need that. But also, do you have like a certain way that if like what do you say after you both agree like, okay, this is definitely we're not a good fit for each other? How do you handle that? What type of energy do you use when you handle that?
So I'm going to give you a specific example of a real conversation that I really had, and then we can look at it if it's good or bad or whatever. It's what works for you, right? I talked with this guy, let's call him Frank. Frank's not his name, but let's say his name was Frank, and we met in person first, and he's a coach, and I knew he was struggling, so I reached, like, he was publicly struggling, like, hey guys, I'm fucked, please help. And we get on a call together, and then we basically created he had this sense of apathy. Like we go through the process of creating his vision and everything. He had this apathy of like, man, everything is shit, and like, I don't want to change. And I was just like, I can help you with that. We pinpointed a limiting belief, and I was like, I know I can help you let go of that shit and how it's stopping you, what's costing you. But like his energy level to changing was like very low. Like the question, how serious are you about this? He was like a 6. Like, my life is shit and I hate it. And if I continue living this way, I'm going to die in a desert. That's what he said to me. I'm like, okay, well, obviously you want to change that, right? Like, how serious are you about changing this on a scale from 8 to 10, like 1 to 10? It's like, I'm like an 8. Like, okay, why isn't it a 10? It's like, I don't know. Okay. I can help you with that, right? Yeah. Okay. Do you want help with that? It's like, I'm not sure. Okay. Let's call that a no for now, right?
Yeah.
So I'm literally like, I can convince this guy that he really needs this, but like, do I want to work with a guy where I have to do most of the work, where I have to lean and convince him that he needs help? Nah, fuck that.
Yeah.
That's energy draining. So
right.
In that moment, I wasn't entirely sure what's going on. I just had like a feeling about it. So I set up a follow-up meeting with him. I got off the call and I was feeling weird. And then I just called him. I got clear of what's going on, tuning into my intuition really. And I can show you guys that process, the exact process that I did to get that download of exactly what I needed to do. And the message that I was getting, that this guy was going to drain my energy and that it wasn't going to be effective because we had an ego clash. So I called him same day. Like, my NLP wouldn't be effective because he had resistance to change. Like, I can't help somebody change unless they want to, right? So I call him, like, Frank, I love you, dude. I was thinking about our conversation. Let's cancel our thing and call it a no for now. I love you, dude. We can be friends. I have some resources for you. I don't think I'm the guy to help you with what you need. Like, my group is like, we have different goals, different values. I genuinely think like if we did a session together, it wouldn't work for you. So it's nothing to do with you. It's just like, I don't think I can help you with that. But you know what? I have my friend Juliana. She's an amazing energy healer, and I think she can help you with what you need. I don't know if she can or not. She helped me a lot. I think it might be a good fit. But my recommendation to you is like, you have a call with her. And like, if that's aligned, great. If not, that's cool too. At a minimum, I'd recommend you connect with her. And again, you and me, we're cool no matter what. We're still friends. You could be my network. But I just don't think that we're meant to be on a professional level and working together. And he was totally relieved. He's like, oh, thank you. Yeah, I really appreciate that. I'll definitely hit her up. And we were good. So I was just being direct. I was being honest. And he knew, and he really honored. And this guy has way more respect for me now than before. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Does this answer your question?
Yeah, that's definitely going to anchor for me, like when I come into contact with that type of situation. No, appreciate it.
Yeah. So there is, I don't know if we're going to talk about it now. I'm going to just take a note here. We can come back to it. There's like 3 distinctions when you're dealing with yourself and your intuition, right? Are you feeling other people's shit? Are you feeling your own fears, your own stuff come up, or is this intuition speaking? And so I didn't realize it while I was on the call with him, so I had to hang up, tune in, and like, okay, this is what I need to do. And so that's giving you the power of decision making that taps into the higher consciousness wisdom, you know? Do you guys feel, on a scale from 1 to 10, how rock solid do you feel in your ability to make good intuitive decisions?
I feel a 9.
Solid.
I say I feel a 9 because I feel like I'm great at making intuitive decisions. However, I don't feel my vibration is high enough to reach that level where I'm making the intuitive decisions to attract the clients I want, which is why I say a 9. Still working on raising my vibration every day. So
sure. I mean, it's a never ending. You know what I mean? It's like there's always a way to get it better and better and better and more. So we can look at that. How about you, Dawson?
So I'll answer that in 2 ways. I think when I take the time to center myself and get connected, I think it's absolutely 10. Like, there's been times in my life where like I've called kind of like an audible and said, you know, I need to sit down for like 30 minutes and just let me think about this. When I do that, I feel totally connected. Whenever I try to rush my intuition though, like do it on the fly or just kind of, you know, pull it up on the spot, I feel like it's way less, probably like a 6 or a 7.
I could relate to that. Kind of like working on kind of rushing yourself to come up with the answer and not getting the best decision. And you know in your mind, like, this is probably not the best decision. So
yeah, one of the things that have helped with me is my parents have always taught me, like, they call it the overnight rule. This is basically like whenever you have like a really tough decision, to never make it on the spot because like there's too much emotion going on, is to always like sleep on it and get like a level head and then like see how you feel in the morning kind of thing.
I gotta try that. I don't think I never tried that before.
Yeah.
Go make the hard decision. Whatever choice is harder, sometimes I just do that. I'm like, something, if it's far from something I want to do now, that's probably the thing that I have to do to get to where I want. But that sounds more intuitive. So I'm gonna try that.
So I'm gonna give you guys 2 resources that help me figure out my human design and how I'm supposed to make decisions. One is like 2 types of self-awareness personality tests. One is called human design. That's really what it's called. Are you familiar with that? The other one is called Enneagram. Are you guys aware of those 2?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So what I've found in my human design and Enneagram is that, like, based on who I am and how I was built, my intuition is coming from the gut. And so I know exactly where in my body I can feel that level of guidance. And sometimes I'm more tuned into it than others, but that's something I know now, and it's a skill set. So for other people, it's like in the heart or in the head, or like it comes from different places. You got to know yourself on that.
Yeah.
So let's do a quick. So I think one of the key messages that I heard you say, Dawson, is a pacing, right? When we're rushing, we're missing, we're pacing ourselves, taking those pauses, taking it slow, we have a high chance of getting it right.
Yeah.
So on that note, let's take a moment and relax. Connect. Let's do this by just doing 5 like deep, slow breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Allow your body to settle. And as you relax deeper and deeper, just imagine you're like on an ocean. And you're just diving deeper into the water. Deeper and deeper. As you relax more and more, you dive deeper and deeper. You can breathe underwater. And it feels like freedom. And as you dive deeper and deeper, you get closer and closer to your truth. And you arrive at the bottom of the ocean. So it's rock solid. You have arrived at your truth, your deeper knowing of who you are. And you find a treasure chest, an elaborate treasure chest at the bottom of the ocean. There's a golden light that comes out of that. And you approach the treasure chest, the bottom of the ocean, that is your truth. You open it up and you dive into the treasure chest. There's another layer, like another depth of another ocean. It goes 10 times deeper and deeper and deeper. And suddenly, in a space, it's all black. It's all peaceful. It's like space. And you're among the stars. Your sense of self dissolves. You can see the earth really small. You notice how close all human beings are together, how connected we are. You feel a sense of peace. And just notice who you really are. You're not your thoughts, not what you see through your eyes. What is it that is aware of those thoughts and feelings? What is it that is aware of that? Call it consciousness, awareness. Just see if you can feel where this consciousness ends. See if you can find the edges of this awareness. And you can ask yourself, what is not guided and protected by this? You may notice there isn't anything that doesn't feel encompassed by this awareness. See if there's a wisdom, a problem, an information that you can receive, maybe a message right now from this greater consciousness, this awareness, this boundless that you are, the greater part of you, the true you. Go ahead and receive that message now. What's the message? Maybe it's a feeling, a knowing, a sensation. Go ahead and receive that now. And from this place, I want you to connect with the power of love, the dominion of love, a place where only love exists. Unconditional love. And notice if you can find the edges of love. Where does love end? Notice what feeling that has, what unique frequency love has. And breathe that in. Go ahead and bring any challenge, any problem you have inside of the power and the dominion of love. And allow that to transform now. And take a snapshot of this feeling, the access to this way of being that is who you are. And on your own time, when you feel complete, you can float back down into your body, having profound awareness of who you are fully. And on my count of 3, you can come back, fully present, and have retained all the lessons. 1, 2, 3. Welcome back. Take a note. See if you can take a note of something that just came through for you. I have something for you.
That's crazy. I was literally writing the same shit, you know. It's crazy.
I wrote down something different, but it's the same meaning. The thing that felt like to me was like a sense of like lightheartedness and like play. You know, like, I don't know, with intuition and like universe, consciousness, whatever it is, it's just like when you really get the perspective of like how small you are compared to like everything else, it almost makes it seem like comical in a way, like your problems.
For sure. For sure. Dude, that actually is a great segue into this next bit. We'll talk about in a bit when we'll put things in perspective, especially when it comes to money. Like, people are like, oh, money problems, they're the biggest, the worst, and they all encompassing. And it's like, nah. You're so much more than that, and there's so much more in store for you. So we're going to do some money rewiring in a bit. What I'm curious is, like, do you guys feel and know the distinction of the energy when you, or what's your experience of the distinction between connecting with the awareness and the love bit?
For me, they felt the exact same. It was the realization that like the consciousness, whatever, is just straight love. I don't know. That's the way like I perceived it, was that there really wasn't a difference.
That's awesome. There's no right or wrong. It's literally like your experience. So what about you, Dakota?
So I don't know if you could tell, I actually fell asleep.
No way, I did not.
So, but I still feel like I did the meditation because I feel different. And that's why I wanted to talk about like flow in its natural state. Because I try to create flow every day, and I do. But that was a different flow because I didn't, like, I was tired. I didn't feel like, honestly, like, I wanted to go to sleep. I was like, no, I have to get on the call. Even though, like, I barely got into sleep. I got like 2 hours of sleep. And, like, nah, I still got to do it. But it flowed because, like, nature, like, just like my decisions, I didn't try and I got to sleep. But I slept at the same time to be hypnotized and tap into the subconscious while you was directing me. Because I know my subconscious mind was doing the things that you were saying because I feel different. So I feel like.
And that's trust too, right? You're trusting your subconscious.
Yeah.
Solid. One thing that I've learned from my friend who's a human design expert, she's like the mother of human design. And she's been doing it before it was cool. She taught me that when you embody the feeling, like that feeling of love or like just flow state, or when you are in the feeling and you speak to the result, right? When you do your videos, when you do your content, you're in the, whether you write it or speak it or record yourself, when you're in that embodied state, whether it's love or whatever you want, certainty or whatever you want to be in, and you speak to the results like, hey, make 7 figures this year, right? It doesn't almost matter. Like your conscious mind is like, okay, like analytical brain goes, okay, this is what I want. But like in the emotional level, you're also giving them what they're longing for, which is the emotional payoff. Some people are looking for certainty. Some people are looking for love, right? Are you with me on this? Do you see the power in that? So it's embodying the feeling and speaking to the result. Sam Owen does a great job. He always talks about money. Like, there's no 1 minute that he talks without saying you'll make more money, right? And he's always bringing the certainty, which attracts a lot of people who are like unsure. So you're always like attracting the exact opposite.
One of the things I think is important that I like sometimes, if I'm being honest, like don't remember or don't like keep in the forefront of my mind is the fact of I've been like learning this self-development stuff a lot. It's that something almost kicks in when I'm like coaching people, that I come up with solutions or like able to coach people in ways that I didn't even know myself. So I think like there's something that's really powerful to be said about like when you embody that, it's almost like you tap into like like the downloads of like everything you've learned or things that you don't even know how you know them. Do you know what I mean? It's hard to explain, but like I'm sure you guys have felt that way, where it's like you come up with something where you're like, holy shit, where did I get that from?
Totally.
That kind of thing.
Like unique
all the time.
On the spot that you didn't really rehearse.
Yeah, that just like works, or it was executed perfectly or stuff like that.
Yeah. And so that's you trusting your subconscious, right? Or getting an experience of that. And the thing is too, when you experience it for yourself and you can trust that the people you're talking to, you're coaching to, they have it in them too, right? Like that's how you can, like, here's the thing, by just believing in somebody, its potential, you kind of like draw out of them, you see? So I kind of almost want to take you through, and maybe we'll set an intention for next call. We'll do sales training in this new way that I'm learning and practicing. That's like way more empowered than any of the sales scripts that I've seen before. That helps attract and enroll like the high vibing, high caliber type people. But one of the key so we'll set an intention for next week to cover that. And I'm going to record some training around that. And in fact, that's going to be like a major pillar of my content going forward. Okay, money. Are you guys so cool to talk about money?
Let's do it.
Oh,
All right, maybe we'll do some role play. So I don't need to talk about it, but I can give you an experience of it. Like, what are the money objections that you're getting?
I want to wait till tax season. No, I know I can't afford your services right now.
Cool. Do you believe that?
That they can't afford my services? No.
You don't believe it? Good. So cool. Yeah. So I know with that particular conversation, you're in Messenger, right? So you didn't have as much room to work around. So here's how I handled that exact problem. Well, not exact, but like I handled one of those today. I set up a strategy session today with an old friend. And but by the way, I also had this problem where I had challenges offering my services to friends because I felt like I'm hurting them or whatever. Totally reframed my belief and my mindset around that. And now I love like creating deals with friends. It's my new favorite thing to do. And so we set up a strategy session. He told me, "Oh, dude, I don't know if I can afford it. Like, how much are your services? Just tell me, like, how much is it?" What I told him is like, "Dude, don't like." And I know energetically he's coming from, I don't know if I can afford it. He's coming from not enough. Not like, "Hey, just curious, how much is it? Because I'm gonna buy it." But like, how much is it, right? He was coming from, right? And so because he said that, I told him, my prices are ranging from like $500 to like $65,000 at this point, but I'm not even concerned about that. This session I'm going to give you is completely free. And what we'll do is we'll create the strategy for like your next year and everything you want to create. Figure out exactly what's holding you back, why it's not the life that you're living right now. And I'm going to give you some direction and help you figure that shit out. And so in the end of it, you're going to have the clarity of what you want, why you want it, and what's holding you back. And that's free. That's my gift to you. And then if it makes sense for you to move forward with me, I don't even know, but if it is, then we'll talk about offers and everything like that. Does that make sense? Right? So that's how I handled that. So what you want, the principle is you want them to thinking about possibilities, not affordability. Possibilities, not affordability. So when you end that call and they're thinking, how am I going, like, okay, how is not a bad thing, but like at the end of the interaction, you want to control their emotional state and their state of mind. Like, what's going on, Dawson?
Yeah, could you just say that one thing, just so I'm taking notes? It's not about possibility, it's about what?
It's not about affordability versus possibility.
Cool, I just wanted to, that's really good. I just want to write it down.
So it's just in different, everything is, it's either scarcity or abundance. So this is literally like how I'm going to be coaching you guys through these kinds of objections. Is this person in limited fixed mindset or growth mindset? My new coach, Jesse, like literally what she taught me is like, if you want this, the money is already here. I was like, what? She was making the $25,000 offers. Like, if you want this, the money is already here right now. I was like, what? And she was so fucking certain in that. And I was like, I had no idea the money is already here right now. I was like, fuck, let's go. And so now my mind went, this is where the money is. Are you guys with me on this? Because her certainty and the belief that the money is already here was like greater than my like, damn, that's a lot of money.
When you say the money is already here, you mean the result from investing in yourself, or the money to invest in yourself?
So so if you like, there's a distinction between having resources and being resourceful, right? There's like, okay, sure, if you measure, that's okay. So this is maybe not a no-brainer yet. Employee mindset is telling you like you're operating with the money that's currently in your bank, and you budget it, and you have a budget, and that's like how you manage it, and it's based on the monthly checks that you're getting, or weekly or whatever, however you're getting paid, and that's kind of like what you have to work with, and it's kind of this fixed box because your annual income is XYZ dollars per year, right? And so this is basically just managing what is within that. So that's cool. That's how most people are wired. Your job is to rewire your brain, abundance mindset. I'm an entrepreneur. I create opportunities. I'm a creator of value, and I'm a creator of money. I'm a creator of clients, and all of that stuff. I'm a creator. I'm not just like a resource distributor. Is this making sense?
Yeah.
And so because of that, that's being resourceful, right? And so if you are a creator, you become creative. So some practical ways. Okay, cool. I'm understanding that you don't have, $10,000 in the bank right now. How can we make this possible? And literally like that. How can we make this possible for you? How can we make this possible for you? Notice that I'm not like, okay, look, what is like, it's like this. How can we make this possible for you? And when they go like, there's no way, like I can't. Like, this is giving me an indicator that you're not that serious about really changing this, right? Because typically when people want something, like when they really want something, they'll find a way to figure it out.
Yeah.
And so are you guys with me on this?
Yeah.
So with this person, let's make it relevant, right? This guy, you were in Messenger, he's telling you, I really can't afford it, let's wait until tax season. Hey, totally cool, I get it. This first call, I'm not sure. Like, here's the thing. I can probably help you with this problem. I'm not sure if we're even a good fit to working together, whether it's in April or at any time. Let's have a conversation and find out if it makes sense. The first call is always free. And we'll get some more clarity and see how we can, get you to XYZ result. How does that sound?
Yeah.
So with that guy, I would just tell him, hey Frank, loved our chat. I was thinking, don't worry about paying me anything for this first session. Let's hop on a call. I'm gonna see how I can help you with this, and let's get you going with that. Literally just a gift from me to you, because I believe in you and I think that you have potential to make that work, whatever you guys discussed, right? And just literally like if he's the right kind of guy, he's gonna be like, thank you, And that's the thing, like obviously the people don't have not obviously, but many times the people don't have the capacity to think about this the right way before they show up. But when you present them with the opportunity to completely change their lives, they're like, okay, shit, that's something worth doing. And then too, like becoming creative. Sometimes like I've had somebody who's an event planner who made my logo. Like I gave her some sessions. She makes me an amazing logo. Now I have a new logo, So like you guys are going to create your own experiences. I have like a cleaner in my apartment right now because we exchanged some value, right? So that's all about becoming creative. You guys are creators. You're not a victim of your circumstances. You're a creator of your circumstance. You're not a victim of your circumstance. You're a creator of your circumstance. This is true for you. It's also true for your clients. If you believe that they're, you're limited by your income. You fucked. Then it's going to be true. You guys are going to agree. You're going to have a match of that belief system. So you need to remove your own beliefs around that. Like, literally, my friend was a school teacher in New York, in Brooklyn, and inner city schools. Every single week, these kids would come up with the latest $120 Jordans, Nike sneakers. It's ridiculous. Food stamps and everything, but like sneakers, latest iPhones. Girls would get their hair done for $120. It makes no sense. You know what I mean? Literally crack addicts with like fucking no job make like thousands of dollars every single week happen to feed their habits. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I have a question. Maybe you can speak to this, So I've had a few times people say, that they buy into it and they're like, yeah, I totally get that. I just, they need to run it by their wife or something like that, or they need to, figure out the funds. And then we set up a call later on. And I say, okay, that's fine. And then like a few days later, I'll follow up with them a little bit. And then they just say, hey, like, the money's not there. Like the money's not going to work. What do you do in cases like that?
Mm-hmm. So what you don't want to do is chase them, right? What you don't want to do is chase them. So I think a lot of times that's a symptom of not fully like asking good questions of what the root of the objection is and identifying the problem in the beginning. So you're getting so like there's the objection and there's a smoke screen, you know. So I would have to know more about how that conversation went to know if you got a circumstance or an objection.
I think what it is a lot of times it's like that they are into it. It's just that they don't. I don't want to sound limited by saying this, but they literally don't have the money in their bank account. Like they would have to take it out on loans and stuff.
So that's what we need to talk about. Oh, they'd have to take it out of loans. Cool. Thank you for reminding me of that. That's the story about that. What is your belief around that?
I think that is good if you use it in the right way.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is one of those things that you have to use it to like buy or purchase like an asset that's going to help you, or like, it could be like training in yourself. It could be like investment property. As long as you're buying an asset, it's good. I guess that's what I would say.
For sure. So if it's an asset, it's good. Is yours like working on yourself, personal development is working with you, increasing my asset?
Yeah.
Okay. So so if this person would have to make good debt happen, which is other people's money, to work with you, is there any, what I'm hearing you say is that it's okay. Like there's no problems here. But what you're doing is you're believing them when they're saying, I can't invest because I would have to get that. So your actions are different from what you're telling me.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I don't know, because it's like a troubling thing, because sometimes I've had people that like were in bad financial situations, and they were telling me like where they're gonna get the money from. I don't know. I'm trying not to get. I have a habit I'm working on about like not getting wrapped up into their own financial BS.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I could kind of speak on this.
Give it to me.
I'm not in the best situation. I'll be really honest with you. I just like I gotta give my mom bread because we're not doing good as a family. Really struggling to the point like my mom was like, I don't know if you guys ever been in a situation, but mom pretty much said like pretty much she's spending more than she makes just to survive. But she said that a while ago. So now it's coming to the point where like the pressure's coming to everybody to give more bread just to live in something we can't afford. So that's one thing. And the other thing is like, I also want to do the business thing, right? So just got a new job. That's dope. Honestly, I would have to do overtime to be able to continue to coach with Myro, actually. And actually, it came to a point where I didn't close my first client yet, right? And I had to, me and Myro was like, I was like, all right, I'll take a break so I can like save up the money, right? Because I honestly don't have it, right? So I was being creative and I was like, you know what? Like Myro's new program is $8,000. I looked for it because I really want to do it. So what I did was I took out a loan, and it turns out I had $8,500 in my retirement fund. So I took out a loan for $8,000 just to be able to work with Myro because I know I really want that. And even though like it puts me like back at kind of even keel, With like all my other things and all the other stress, it doesn't, because I trust Myro and I trust myself. So that's me. It's no problem for me to take out a loan for my retirement. Like, I don't have a retirement anymore. I've been working on that for years. But for me, it's nothing because one, I have faith in myself. Two, I trust my coach. And Myro's shown me that where he can take me. He's shown me that through his coaching. So I'm like the type of client that I can find it, and I'm not in the best situation at all. So, yeah.
Dude, thank you for sharing that. That was real.
Can I ask you a question, Dakota?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what happened where like the switch flipped when you decided that you want to work with Miro for like your coach? Do you know what I mean? Like, when was it? Like, was it after a session? Was it after a coaching like call? When was it where you're like, all right, I guess what I'm asking is what happened where you're like, all right, this is worth my retirement fund? What was that moment?
Well, that was literally like just this week. But it wasn't even, the crazy thing is, like, it wasn't a switch like, oh, I'm going to use my retirement fund. I didn't realize I had the option to use my retirement fund. But my mind was thinking of ways to come up with the money. So I wasn't asking myself, do I want to take out my funds? As soon as I came up with the idea that I can take the loan out, I immediately made a decision, like, that's what I'm going to do. So I was like prepared for the call. Like, when we had a strategy session, I was already prepared. So it wasn't even about whether I want to do it or not. It's how. Like Myro literally just said this, like, it's about how can we make this work? My mind was coming up with ways to how to make it work. So people really want something, they will get creative. I know that because I got creative. So
That's awesome, man. Thank you for sharing that.
no problem, bro.
One of the things you said on our strategy session, Dakota, is it okay if I share?
Yeah.
You said, I want to be the client I want to attract. And you just like fucking lead into it. That was powerful. And that's a universal law. Like, that's what happens. Which is why I have no worries about you creating clients. It's going to be amazing. Either one of you, both of you, you're leaning in. And it's trusting. So like, notice how this is like a full circle, that when you trust yourself, that's actually more important than trusting the other person. When you trust yourself to make a good decision, you trust yourself even that when things don't go your way, that you will figure it out, right? And then trust yourself with a capital T, or with self with a capital S, connecting to that higher consciousness. Like, I don't need to fucking figure it out on my own. There's another force that's working with me on this. So you guys, like, how you do sales is how you do life. You know, sales is literally like an amazing way of spiritual growth, especially when you have this empowering conversation and like the relationship. It's showing you so much. It's showing you a relationship with yourself, with others, with money, with trust, with freaking source.
And I will say that is true. It's kind of like a full circle because I have a lot of faith in myself. A lot of faith in myself. It's really like a ridiculous amount. Like, there's nothing that will stop me. I don't believe there's any force that can stop me from, not even myself. I don't believe I can stop me from reaching my goals now. So me knowing that, it's a no-brainer, like, for me to invest, even if I don't like know the future, because I know the future regardless. Like, I know what's gonna happen. So one, it's like maybe like the clients, the prospect doesn't believe in themselves enough to be like, as long as, because I trust Mauro, I know he can deliver, and I trust myself that I'm a good investment. So as long as I listen to what Mauro says, I'm going to get more clients, or I'm going to get the result that you're offering. So maybe, like, probably one of the things that's going on in their mind, if they trust you already, is they don't trust themselves. And you're like, okay, do you trust yourself to be able to, like, listen to me? Because it's not me. I told you, look, this is what I do. This is the results I create for my clients. So is it you? Do you trust yourself? And maybe coach them a little bit on that. Like, why don't you trust yourself? And that's exactly why you need the program. Because
that's a major key right there. So as a good coach, and sales is like, it all blends, right? It's not separate really. You like identifying what is really going within them that's stopping them and holding them back. And if they're having a trust issue with themselves, it's like, cool, are you going to allow that to limit your life for the rest of your life? Or is this the breakthrough where you say, okay, even though I've, didn't trust myself in the past, I'm choosing something different now to live my life in a different way? Because you can ask them, how has this lack of trust been affecting you? This lack of belief in yourself. And they will tell you, it's fucking awful, right? And what's going to happen if that doesn't change? Good. Are you okay with you want to live with that? Like, how serious are you about changing this? And then don't just like let them tell you pretty serious. It's like, no, like seriously, because this stuff is going to work, but only if you're a full yes. If there's any kind of like raise your standards, guys, to the level of, I'm only going to work with you if you're a full yes, like a hell yes. If you raise your level to this, then like success becomes inevitable. And remember, it's not about the transaction. You're building like a lifelong relationship. That means if you're having an honest, like deep, vulnerable conversation with this person and you fully get them, they get you, and you feel like they're a good fit, and they, okay, fine. Like, let's say you tell them, okay, how much can you put down today? Like, what's the most you can put down today? Great question to ask. Then they will make a financial, energetic commitment towards working with you. And then I would be open, okay, cool. Like, this is just like a down payment towards your deposit. Like, my minimum requirement is this. It's like $1,000 or whatever for us to even get started. But I'm gonna be open to supporting you and making that happen, right? So while you find the rest of the money for us to officially start working together, I'm gonna be here, right? I'm gonna support you on this. Like, and again, I would do that for anyone. I would do that for the right fit. I would do that for the person that is like, I'm showing you I'm committed. I'm putting money towards it. I'm listening to what you're telling me, and I'm following the steps. Because here's the thing too. If somebody trusts you and they follow your directions, you can give them the directions that will help them find the money to make it happen. One of the key exercises, and I want you guys to do this today, we're going to wrap up, but this is going to be a powerful homework that all my friends who are entrepreneurs and in personal development, we all do literally all the time to like make money. And it like always works. And it's so simple that when you like start doing it, you're going to be like, oh shit, why did I never do this before? So I'm going to leave you guys with one more mindset key and like some homework that will change your financial well-being and that of your clients. Is that cool? So a little teaser, this is an open loop. We'll come back to that. The money making exercise. One other thing, it's the binary mindset. It's like binary. And I heard that in something that Dakota was saying in his mindset. But you guys know what I mean by that? When things are binary?
They just have to be one way or something like that.
Yeah, it's like one way or the other. So, for example, my friend Chucky Okobi, it's a friend of mine, former client of mine, and former Super Bowl champ, master NLP practitioner. He's like, it's binary. Either I'm going to be the next like Oprah or like the next Elon Musk. Like those are the two outcomes that are going to happen. It's either this or that, right? And so when you switch your mind from like, all right, right? So Will Smith says this, and he's like, either I'm going to win. Like if you he says this specifically, he says, if you get on the treadmill with me to compete, like either you're going to get off the treadmill first, or I'm going to die on the treadmill. Like he makes it that binary, right? Saying that these are the options of possible outcomes. Because guess what? Right now, your binary options are kind of by default, right? It's like, hey, either this is going to work or I'm fucked. Well, you can re-switch that. Either this is going to work or I'm going to learn something that I will use to make this work.
I totally agree. I think I now understand what you were saying earlier when I was saying, like, I feel like It's like either I'm gonna win or I'm gonna win. There is no. I just give me two winning options. Like, there's no losing. That's really how I feel too. Like, I don't see like losing not even a thought for me anymore. Like, I'm gonna succeed or I'm gonna get clients. So either way.
And the thing is, like, what you guys have the advantage of, especially with your level of consistency and energy that you're bringing forward, the law of action. It's a universal law. You put action forward, an equal and opposite reaction is happening. You put value out into the world, you invest in yourself, like there's something opening up as a result every single time. So it's just a matter of when, right? Yeah. So, and because of you know what you know and you do what you do, you continue the process. It's like you continue planting the seeds, shit's gonna sprout. And if you plant tomato seeds, it's not gonna be a lemon.
I believe that.
You guys are in good company. So are you guys ready for the money exercise?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. First, what has been your biggest insights from today?
Binary mindset.
For me, it was just changing my view on debt.
What did you believe before and what do you believe now?
Before I believed that debt was this thing that should be feared, regardless of how it's used. Like I kind of tried, mentally believe that it was, if that's an asset, if you use it for an asset, it's okay. But now, like, it's more internalized that, you're actually doing like a service and a favor for people, like even if they have to go to debt to work with you, because if they don't, the option is they're just getting more debt or they'll just go on living a life that like they don't want to live. So the big scheme of things, debt is small. It's a small hurdle.
Yeah. I love that, Dakota. Dawson, I'm gonna test you on that belief and take it a little further. Because I feel like in that belief right now, you feel like an 8 out of 10. I want you to feel so fucking rock solid about that you're just like, yeah, shit, fucking that is not a problem for anybody. Okay?
Okay.
So you want to work with entrepreneurs, right?
Yeah.
So like this building that I'm in, is that, built by an entrepreneur, you think?
Yeah.
Cool. Do you think they paid with this with their own money that they saved up from like hard work at their job? Or other people's money?
Other people's money.
Mm-hmm. And like, if I look outside and I see restaurants, there's a tow truck, apartment buildings, property management companies, there's an airport. Do you think all of those things have been built with the like hard work that people traded their hours for, or like other people's money?
Other people's money?
Mm-hmm. So when we make investments in ourselves today, in our business today, we have to start thinking like a CEO, like an entrepreneur, like, and using leverage, not our time. Otherwise, it would take us years to make this happen. And then 3 to 5 years from now, when they, done their time for money exchange, they've wasted their lives. So that is the mind frame. Microsoft sales might say, I shared this, I literally had this call with someone today. She had this like, oh, I have $20,000 in debt. I'm going to be fucked. I'm like, I remember feeling that same way when I had $50,000 in credit card debt and I was living over there. And I was working at a like highly paid company. I was making, I don't know, between 50 and 80 grand a year at the time. And like getting paid more than anyone else, living in a nice neighborhood. I was stressed out about money. I was like, I can never catch up. My credit card bills were over $1,000 a month. And I was like, fuck, I can't do this. I was fucking dying. I was stressed out. Because like I was trading time for money. I was trying to like work harder to make it happen. Now I know it's not the working harder that I'm making it happen. It's like by fucking having more fun and creating more that I'm making it happen, by creating clients, by being an entrepreneur. And now, guess what? Now I have twice as much debt as I have then, and I feel happier than I've ever been. And like, when I think of myself as 7-figure CEO self, am I gonna have debt? Yeah, fuck yeah, probably a lot more. Do you remember, right? Like, I'm probably gonna have a lot more. Why? Because I'm gonna be investing in my future and the future of my business in a larger scale. Do you remember when you were like 10 years old and you had like a $20 bill? How did that feel? Go back to the time when you were like 10 years old and you had like a $20 bill.
I was like, yeah, it felt like a lot of money.
Like, losing that amount of money would also be like, really, fuck, you lost $20, right?
Yeah.
So there's a proportion to how much money you're comfortable spending and investing, and how much you're losing. And the proportion is usually pretty much 1-to-1. So like Sam's course, Consulting Accelerator, is like $1,500 or $2,000 now. And what he tells people to price their services at is about $1,500 to $2,000. Because people are like, yeah, that makes sense. I invest this much money, I can charge this much, right?
Yeah.
So one way to add a zero to what you're comfortable with, your financial thermostat, right? One way to expand what you're comfortable with earning, keeping, and spending is by making bigger investments or having bigger debt. Like either way, where you expand that, it's also going to expand the other side.
Okay.
Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Because like, guess what? One day, $20 was like, wow, I can buy so many fucking Pokemon cards with this, so many fucking things at the gumball machine, right? And then one day, $200 was like, whoa, dude, that's a lot of money. Like, whoa. And then at some point, it's like $2,000. Holy shit. Can you imagine there's a time when like $20,000 is like, I just paid $20,000 for a weekend in Hawaii.
Yep.
And can you imagine that one day you feel like the same way about $200,000? It's all about where you want to go in life. Because I know I'm going fucking raising $100 million for charity. That's going to be my charity project. Is going to be $100 million. And if I believe that that's who I'm going to be, then I know this shit is fucking peanuts.
Yeah.
So you have to make decisions of who you're going to be and where you're going to be, not from your current situation. Because your current situation is the result of the actions and decisions and beliefs that you've had before. And it's like going to the gym. I'm too fat to go to the gym. I'm not going to go to the gym. They're going to laugh at me. I'm going to look like shit. Right? Like a big obese guy, diabetes dude, is like, not going to the gym. I look like shit. They're going to make fun of me. I need to get fit first. Oh, fuck, how are you going to do that? Well, I need to go to the gym. Ah, fuck. See? That's how they're being with their money. That's what literally Brad Newman told me this. He enrolled me into the $25,000 program with Andrew. And and he was pointing it out. I'm like, dude, I have the money, but like, I need more money to really make it happen. And he's like, you know, you're being like that fat guy with diabetes trying to go to the gym right now. Like, that's being you right now. You're like, yeah, so you just need to commit first. You just decide, and then you'll make it happen. And that's been my honest to God experience. It's no bullshit. It's not a sales technique. It's a universal law that I've experienced in real life, and you'll experience too. Because like, now that you've made this level of investment, you're comfortable charging, right? We had this conversation, right, Dawson? Like, I told you, you can charge at least $6,000 for what you're doing. It's worth that. It's more than that. It's priceless, really. But like, doing that, you already have experienced what it's like to have that level of money flow through you.
Yeah.
Is this helpful?
Yeah, definitely.
So now when I ask you, how do you feel about asking your clients to swipe the card for investing in themselves? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, after that example where you said about like how everything, you know, the garbage truck, the restaurant, everything was built on debt, that's when it clicked for me. Yeah, dude, it's just like, also one of the things that I was thinking about while you're saying that is one of the things I remember when you like were enrolling me, I remember it was like the trajectory technique. And it was like, on your current trajectory, like, where do you think you're going to be? You know, like, how much is it going to cost you? And it was like, well, I don't know. I've been at this for 2 years, didn't really make any progress, didn't really learn anything. Another 2 years would be way, way more in income and frustration and like all those types of ways than just like, you know, investing. So I don't know. The thing that I got most now is that money is just one type of currency. You know what I mean? And then it's not the only type of currency. Like time, energy, like feeling abundant, feeling happiness, you know, all that kind of stuff are different levels of currency.
For sure. And you know what, dude? The value that you are like working on yourself, creating greater skill set, earning power, that shit can never be taken away from you. Money is going to go in and out of your account like fucking crazy. It's going to get spent on stuff. But what's not going away is who you are becoming. And even your network, your audience, like those are things that you're building right now. And you can, because you are doing this, you can give people access to the same stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right, guys. So on a scale of 1 to 10, like, how comfortable are you now to suggest somebody that they use other people's money to make an investment in themselves?
It's not even a scale. Like, that's just life. Like, I've done it. I made the decision myself. There is no scale.
Yeah, for me, I just feel like 10, like rock solid. Like how Dakota feels, where it's just like a certainty. It's just like it's a thing that needs to be done.
It's a law.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know, yeah, dude. So what's a great question I was asked is like, when they tell you all of the stories, you just go, okay, what's the most you can put down today? It's not like, can you pay me anything? It's like, how much can you pay today? So anything is possible. So now you guys have homework. And again, you want to be the client you want to attract. Maybe one day you will have a client who's in this position where they need to do this homework. And it's fun. So you got your standards, like, you know, my requirement for you to work with me is XYZ dollars. How can we make this possible? They're like, I don't know, I could do this, I could do this. Okay, here's my homework for you. Make a list, Dawson, Dakota, make a list of 10 things that you can do in the next 7 days before we speak again to make this money happen, right? So I'm gonna ask you guys 10 ways to make 10K in the next 7 days. 10 ways to make 10K in the next 7 days. So I'm gonna write this down.
I was writing it down.
So when you have your 10th, here's the thing, you may or may not know it right now, you're gonna find 10 ways to do this or more. And I want you to rank the top 3 and really double down on them and then do the other ones too. But like, make sure you rank them. Make sure you rank them by probability, what's most likely to really work. Yeah. And I want you to do this exercise and make that 10K happen. Like, make it happen in real life. Because here's the thing, most people up until the point that they get into entrepreneurship, they're motivated by, oh shit, the like bills I do, the renters do, or like whatever. And that's when they start fucking around. But if you can literally just like challenge yourself to make this happen because you want to create something, not from not enough, but creating from, I'm inspired, I want to challenge myself, I'm excited, I wonder how long it will take me or how much I can do in 7 days, or how long it will take me to do 10K. So that is my challenge to you. It's the money game. Okay, what's coming up?
So I have something where I do is like, what I write down every day, what 3 things do I need to do to push my business forward? And then I do that. Like, what's the 3 things that will move my business forward the most? So I want to add that to my daily reflection, just to have shit to do, to grab from. Like, okay, this is the next thing it's gonna happen.
My friend Chase and I, we always talk about like like the multimillionaires that we know, like what are their things, the little things that they say and do. Couple of things that they do is 3 revenue generating tasks are on the fucking do list every single day in the first part of their day. They make sure they have the 3 major revenue generating tasks. Now that's a daily habit. What I'm asking you to do for this next 7 days is 10 ways, right? But if you, yeah, so literally, like when you have your to-do list, this is another little hack. You can make a $ next to all the things that are directly revenue related. So yeah, so make sure, like, if you look at your to-do list from the last 7 days, how many of those tasks were directly related to creating revenue inside of your business? And so not like, it makes sense to have tasks that are like long-term strategy. It's all good. And you want to have a healthy balance because cash flow is key as well. So that's the assignment. Are you guys open to accepting the 10K in 10 days, 10 ways to make 10K in 7 days challenge?
Yes, there's one thing I want to say. So I think I need to change my priorities. My priority, I spend 3 hours every morning, like yoga, stretch, all that. That's the first thing I do because that's always been like my center. But I feel like before that, maybe I should be like doing my daily like organic post and doing those 3 things first. Do my 10 friend requests, organic post, and doing my sales making posts at the top of the morning instead of after work.
100%. See, like, I just want to reflect to you. I just gave you a challenge to make 10K in the next 7 days. Now you start making some changes. You might like, oh, I need to make some adjustments.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the power of just thinking your focus. Yeah. So 100% do this. This is evidence. Like, shit, you're gonna start thinking differently, taking different actions, having different results.
That's fun. I just want to share something that I thought of. I saw this post somewhere that said, like, it made me laugh. It was like, our brains are the OG search engines. And I just thought that was funny. How like our brains literally operate like search engines. And like you plug in, you know, our life is the quality of our questions. It's like you ask, how can I make, you know, 10K, and you'll come up with ways with it. Or like, how can I make 10K and have it be fun? And you'll like come up with options. Or same thing if you plug in negative stuff too, like what are the reasons why I can't make 10K? And you like ask yourself that question. Or is making 10K hard? Like, you know what I mean? That kind of thing.
Yep. Yeah, so I have that on my list too, using precise language, which comes back to the like how you rewire and reprogram your mind. In your mindset routine, do you have elements in there that talk about you making offers to people or reaching out or following up and following through with prospects or whatever, like revenue generating tasks? Is this a daily habit?
Yeah, so for me, like part of that visualization thing I said like at the beginning of the call was I don't necessarily have like a strict thing, but I visualize it as part of the process. Like, so I visualize both things in every stage. So like, what am I doing at that stage? And then like, what is the outcome? So like, you know, how I go like a month, 3 months, you know, a week today kind of thing. It's like, what am I doing today? And then what is the outcome that I'm shooting for?
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be like the outcome would be, all right, I want to close a client this week. And then the process would be like getting really, really laser focused on the direct outreach, on the sales calls, on the stuff, tracking things, like doing all the stuff I know to do. So like all of that is gone over, mentally rehearsed in the process part of my visualizations.
Beautiful. I'm going to tell you one thing real quick not to do. I got a call this morning from an old friend of mine in San Diego. He's an entrepreneur. And he wanted me to come to this event. He's making an affiliate fee of getting people going. He's like, hey, dude, long time no talk. How you doing? Okay, great. So this is an event. Did you see the video I sent you? I want you to come. Blah, 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 blah. It's really great. The student's really amazing. Blah, blah, blah. It's amazing. Cool. And I was like, dude, we haven't talked in a year. And he mentioned like, I live in Arizona. Dude, I don't live in Arizona. I live in Kansas City, you know? And so basically people, and it's back to the matter model, the R and the matter model. People don't care how much you know unless they know how much you care. So as you connect with people, make sure that your intention is not just, how can I close this client? It's like fully and deeply understanding them.
Yeah.
But better than anyone else, and seeing both their potential and their struggle. Like, dude, that's where authentic connection gets made. And that's literally step one. That's why I like the 20-minute call, like the little warm-up calls now, to really feel people out. Because I'm not available for everyone. But if I really like genuinely want to help that person, I can see something in them, it's on, dude. If I can see the impact that their vision would have if we were to work together, then now that's at stake. Now there are other people involved whose lives are going to be touched. Like, so whatever it is for you that you need to understand to take a stand for someone, like go look for that information and connect with someone. Is this making sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely. I actually have a 20-minute chat, like in 3 minutes. So
love it. Let's get ready for it. I love you guys. You got homework. Update me if you have questions, if you get stuck. In fact, update your group. Do a group update for all the people who are missing out on what value you got out of this class today.
a lot.
That would be fun.
I just got the shit that's going to close me my first client because I've been putting my mindset stuff first. When I put the money stuff first, it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Cool.
It's over.
Group high five. Get in here, Dawson. Boom. Love you guys. Talk soon. Make it rain.
Thanks, man.
So good.